Two men have now been arrested for the death of Ahmaud Arbery, a black man who was shot in February while jogging through a neighborhood in Georgia. Gregory McMichael, 64, and Travis McMichael, his son, 34 years old, were both arrested Thursday and charged with murder and aggravated assault for killing Ahmaud Arbery. Now, Arbery was running through a South Georgia neighborhood at about 1 p.m. on Sunday in late February, and according to police reports, the McMichaels, both white, said they believed he looked like a suspect in a string of robberies. Why did they come to that conclusion? Black. They reportedly then grabbed their guns, .357 Magnum and a shotgun, pursued them, and confronted him in the street, attempting to do what they called a citizen's arrest. Well, a citizen's arrest of a black man who fit the description. Now, an altercation broke out, of course, as what you would expect would happen when two thugs basically approach you with guns drawn. And, of course, Travis McMichael ended up shooting and killing Arbery, according to police. Now, this gained a lot of attention after a cell phone video went viral of what happened, the confrontation. But before then, it took some time for anything to happen in the case of Ahmaud Arbery. They really kind of sat on their hands in this one until that video. Now here's the thing about that, right? All he was doing was jogging while black. But that's apparently enough in Georgia for these white men to get scared and grab their guns. Even the officer they had called, the dispatch, had said, is he doing anything wrong? They apparently couldn't answer that question with anything other than he was black. But in America, you don't have to be doing anything out of the ordinary for you to get shot if you're black. I could walk down the street. I'm very pasty white. I could jog. I could openly carry a weapon. Nobody would bat an eye. But be a black man and do something completely normal, you get harassed, police called on you, perhaps even shot and killed. Understand, it is good that these people were arrested, charged. And that charge is murder, which I think has a very high bar to prove. You have to prove, in order to get somebody convicted of murder, that they had originally the intent to go and murder them, which could work in favor of these two gentlemen. I'm not a legal expert by any means, but based on what I've seen before, generally when you charge really, really high, you have more to prove. So I understand, though, that this arrest would not have happened had we not seen that viral video, that damning cell phone footage. Now, I'm not going to show it to you. Likely you've already seen it, and if you have, you know it's brutal. It's incredibly difficult to watch. The fact that it's so brutal and caused such an outrage is why they've been arrested now. But remember, this happened in February. Why so long? I mean, had it been a white person who had been shot, immediate arrest, an immediate investigation. It turns out, one of the reasons that they refused to arrest the people who had shot and killed him is that Ahmaud Arbery was first considered a suspect in his own death. Yes. I'm going to go here to an article written by Benjamin Dixon Show. And he said this. He said, for Ahmaud, the association not only led to his brutal killing, but it also initially meant his killer not being arrested. It took more than 2 months for the father and son duo to be arrested. When explaining why they were not charged immediately, the district attorney, George Barnhill, immediately stated that the victim, Ahmaud Arbery, was in fact the criminal suspect. He said, quote, it appears that Greg and Travis McMichael's intent was to stop and hold this criminal suspect until law enforcement arrived. Under Georgia law, this is perfectly legal. Dixon, of course, is unfortunately right in that We have Georgia that has, look, their own laws on self-defense and a lack of hate crime laws and the ability for these men to go out and try to do a citizen's arrest. It is unfortunate and incredible that it took 2 months and that now people are going out and attempting to justify the murder of this young man by digging up anything they can on his past. There's only one type of person that does that, and I'm going to leave it up to you to figure out who that is, what kind of person that is. Now, I have very little faith in the justice system. We just say that. Especially in southern Georgia, especially anywhere in America when it involves the death of a black man. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow they find a way for one or both of these men to serve less than what they deserve. That's just me. I hope I'm wrong, but unfortunately, years of watching white men get away with literal murder against black men, and like in this case, I'm incredibly cynical. And that's unfortunate. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.